أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام أيها النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. Peace and blessings, my dear brothers and sisters. This is your brother Hamza Abdullah checking in again for the transition remix and the Abdullah brothers. Just wanted to say thank you very much to all the brothers and the sisters who are following along on this journey. I pray that Allah heals you, protects you, and increases you in all that is good. We're back for episode 14 of the Transition Remix. We're in the middle of step 5, which is to evaluate your overall health. And today we're going to talk about emotional health. Today we're going to talk about emotional health. And when we talk about emotional health, what are some things that come to mind? Number one, assessing your feelings. That's very important, assessing your feelings. And we'll look here at the feelings wheel. And if you don't have this in front of you, by all means, please Google the feelings wheel. And some have the big ones: happy, fearful, bad, surprised, etc. But then there are some that are a little more expansive. And so for me today, understanding that the last 10 nights of Ramadan are coming, that Ramadan is halfway gone, but also there's half of Ramadan still left. So all of those things that I was aiming to get done, bi'idhnillah ta'ala, with Allah's permission, I can still work to get them done. And sometimes this halfway point of Ramadan, it can feel like Groundhog's Day, like, man, we're in a perpetual cycle of, whatever it is. It also can, have us feeling down, like, man, half the month is gone and I'm still the same. Like Hamza, you said this was the month of transition. This was the month of miracles, but I haven't experienced my miracle. Like, what's going on? And so sometimes we can feel disgusted or maybe even angry. Maybe even that anger is pointed or directed towards Allah, where we feel like, man, I'm doing it. Like, I'm going through the motions, like I'm praying my salah, I'm fasting, I'm going to the mosque, but yet I still don't feel that connectedness. And we talked about spiritual health yesterday. And this, again, mental health and spiritual health go hand in hand, but closely following that is the emotional health. Our emotional health we can go up and down like with a roller coaster in a wave of emotions. And so in that, I ask myself first and foremost, whenever I'm feeling maybe like I'm not at my top, like I'm not at the top of my game, or that that feeling of anger or disgust or fear or sadness, or I'm feeling bad, I just take a step back and take a break. So let's right now just take a break and inhale, take a deep breath. Just pause what you're doing. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. A deep breath in and a deep breath out. A deep breath in and a deep breath out. And then say Alhamdulillah. Because regardless of the emotion that I'm feeling, that breath that I just took is a refreshing, like that's a new breath. And just as you have that new breath, so can we also have new emotions and new feelings. And so as we take that breath, then we sit with that breath and say, okay, how am I feeling? Am I feeling disgusted? Am I feeling, critical of myself? That's a dangerous one, is being critical of ourselves. And we're telling ourselves, man, Hamza, you didn't do this. Hamza, you didn't do that. And you didn't do this. Okay. Well, I'll take that. I'm being critical of myself because I wanted to read more Qur'an. So I'm being critical of myself right now. I feel that. I hear that. But my thing, when I was a player, when I was playing in the National Football League, and I would hear coaches being critical of myself or other players, I'm like, what is he really saying? So that voice that is being critical of yourself, change that voice into a coaching voice. Instead of saying, Hamza, you did it. Hamza, you said you were going to read more Qur'an, being critical. Now let's coach. This is the last 15 days. This is the last half of Ramadan. Now, what's the coaching technique that I can remind myself? Okay, Hamza, from here on out, after Dhuhr or after Asr, whichever prayer where you usually have a little bit of time, before you move on to anything, bring your Mus'haf with you, bring your Qur'an with you, and read the Qur'an Just one surah, one short surah, or whatever surah that you land on, Hamza, just read one page. So now I can coach myself into what I didn't do. Instead of being critical of myself and leaving that in the past, now I can coach myself. And so what feeling are you feeling right now? What feeling are you feeling right now? Are you surprised? Are you happy, sad, disgusted, angry, fearful, bad? Do you feel accepted? Do you feel proud? Do you feel interested in what's to come? Are you optimistic to the second half of Ramadan? Or whatever that feeling is, take that feeling, understand it, feel that feeling. Take a deep breath and then let it flow. Let it move on out. And now we're focusing on our emotions, focusing on our emotional health tank. So as we look at our emotional health tank, as we look at our heart, ask yourself, where are you with your emotional health? On a grade of A to F, where are your emotions? Are they topsy-turvy, up and down? Are they at a high? Are they at a low? On a scale of 1 to 10, where are you at? When it comes to percentage, from 0 to 100%, where are you at? Okay, well, ask yourself, okay, well, after I know what level my emotional health tank is, well, what can I do right now to fill it in a halal manner? Again, if I was being critical of myself and I was feeling that emotion, which caused my emotional health to go down, what can I do right now? Hey, I can pick the Qur'an up. Or if I don't feel strong enough to pick the Qur'an up, man, I can go to YouTube and I can listen to one of the reciters reciting Qur'an. I can go to Surah 13, Arad. I can go to Surah 20, Surah TaHa. I can go to Surah 36, Surah YaSeen. I can go to Surah 55, Surah Ar-Rahman. I can go to Surah 56, Surah Al-Waqi'ah. These are surahs that are very powerful and very emotional, that touch the heart, as the entire Qur'an does. There's a beautiful reciter by the name of Omar al-Hisham. YouTube Omar al-Hisham. Omar al-Hisham. And listen, he's reciting the Qur'an. This is a way, again, to get in touch with our emotions, to understand them, to feel them. And then after we feel them, again, we can release them. We can also get some help. And we talked about it in our last step 4 of getting a mentor. Well, we can have an emotional strength coach. Do you have an emotional strength coach on your team, on your coaching staff? A counselor, a therapist, or a psychologist that can help you navigate these emotions? Who can you reach out to? Sometimes we reach out to our parents or a brother, a sibling, or a spouse, or a coworker, but maybe they're the ear to listen to, but maybe they're not our strength coach. Maybe they don't know how to move us out of first gear. We're stuck in first gear, that emotional first gear. How do we get to the next gear? Well, maybe that's where the emotional strength coach comes into play. And so here today, with Allah's permission, as we navigate our emotional health, I'm going to ask you that you ask your emotional strength coach to help you navigate your emotions, help you get to the next level, help you increase and invest in your own personal emotional health. And if you don't have an emotional strength coach, well, today is a great day to get one, to reach out to someone and say, hey, I'm in need of some help filling my emotional health tank. Can you help me? Bi-idhnillah ta'ala, with Allah's permission. You can do it, and you are doing it. You can do it, and you are doing it. This is the time of the month. This is the time of Ramadan where it's important to say and to remind yourself of Allah, first and foremost, and then remind yourself that you're doing your best. Hamza, you're doing your best. And if I don't feel I'm doing my best, then ask myself, okay, well, how can I do my best? What steps can I take right now to do my best? Me personally, what I can do right now to do my best is to rest, to relax. I've been going. I need to take a break. I need to lay down. I need to turn my phone off or turn the computer off, and just rest and be mindful, be in the present state, be in a state of gratitude, and then take a nap. And so that's another thing with our emotional health tank. It's closely tied to the sleep health tank, which we will see later on, inshallah, next week with the law's permission. And so all of these health tanks go hand in hand with each other. And what we will find is that after we get through all of our health tanks, if we're having quote unquote a bad day, we can look right to one of these health tanks and say, oh, that's why. This health tank is in the red and it has a hole in it, and I'm not able to fill it, or I haven't filled it or fulfilled this obligation on myself. And so with the law's permission, we've learned about our mental health tank, we've learned about our spiritual health tank, and today we learned about our emotional health tank. So where are you mentally, spiritually, emotionally right now today? On the scale of 1 to 10, where are you mentally, spiritually, emotionally? On a grade from A to F, where are you mentally, spiritually, emotionally? On a range of percentage from 0 to 100%, where are you mentally, spiritually, emotionally? If you're under 80%, if you're under a B+, if you're under an 8 on any of those wheels or in any of those health tanks, then do your best to take a deep breath, say Alhamdulillah, and ask yourself, how can I fill this health tank? How can I serve myself in this moment right now? Bi'idhnillah ta'ala, with Allah's permission. What can I do? What can I do right now? Well, what I can do right now, as I said, is I can rest. I feel like resting will help me mentally. Resting will help me spiritually. Resting will help me emotionally. And so that's what I'm going to do, bi'idhnillah ta'ala, with Allah's permission. I'm going to rest. It's Saturday here on the West Coast of the United States of America. And I'm not sure where you are in the world or in the country, but I pray that you have a beautiful day. I pray that you have a beautiful night, remembering Allah as best as you can and understanding that this is a transition and it's going to continue and continue and continue. And remind yourself these 3 things. Allah's promise is true. Allah's plan is perfect. And Allah is always right on time. Allah's promise is true. Allah's plan is perfect. And Allah is always right on time. Thank you again for joining me on the Transition Remix train in the Transition Remix world, courtesy of the Transition Remix, a new way to transition. Bi'idhnillah ta'ala, with Allah's permission. Inshallah, I'll see you on the next episode. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.